Okay, I want you to picture someone for a second. Let's call him the captain.
The captain, okay.
So in his home country, the captain he's a big deal. He's a senior engineer, maybe manages 50 people. He knows all the unwritten rules, you know.
Right, the social code,
Yeah.
how to talk to a cop, which bus seat to take.
Exactly. He has this confidence because he knows the entire operating system of his life. It's second nature.
He's on autopilot.
Totally.
Okay.
Now let's take that same guy, that same confident captain, and drop him into a completely different environment, say a subway station in Tokyo, or maybe a tiny supermarket in rural Sweden.
Boy.
And suddenly, he's completely lost. He's at a self-checkout machine, and it's just yelling at him in a language he doesn't get. He's fumbling with his wallet, his card gets declined, and a line is starting to form. You can feel the sighs.
That is a very specific kind of nightmare.
In that one moment, he's not the manager of 50 people anymore. He feels, I don't know, stupid, small. And we usually call that feeling culture shock, but that just feels way too polite.
It does. It really trivializes what's happening. That moment you're describing, that's not just an inconvenience. It's a full-blown identity crisis.
Right.
And that's the core of what we're getting into today. It's not culture shock. It's identity shock. It's that that horrifying realization that your confidence, your status, your entire sense of self was it was completely tied to your geography.
Geographically dependent. Wow.
You take away the environment and the person starts to crumble.
Exactly. The self-worth you built for decades can just vanish the second an ATM eats your card. So our mission today is to really explore that emotional U-curve of adjustment, the crash, the crisis, and hopefully the comeback that changes you forever.
So let's get into the phases of that curve. We should probably spend some time at the bottom where it hurts the most.
Yeah, let's do it. We all know the standard model: honeymoon, crisis, recovery, adjustment. We are going to zoom in on that crisis phase, that valley. The source material calls it the confidence drop.
Confidence drop. I mean, the name says it all. This is when the initial excitement of being somewhere new just dies.
And reality hits you like a truck.
The psychological cost is it's huge.
Huh.
We're talking about highly educated people, PhDs, executives who move abroad and suddenly feel profoundly unintelligent.
It's a total disconnect, isn't it? Your brain is still there. You can solve complex problems in your field.
But you can't buy milk.
Right.
Your ability to navigate daily life just plummets to basically zero. And the sources gave this incredible example, this heartbreaking little scenario they called the washing machine defeat.
Okay, the washing machine defeat. It sounds almost funny, but I have a feeling it's not.
Not at all. It's that moment when a completely capable adult just breaks down over a simple appliance.
Yeah.
We've heard stories of people, people who manage multi-million-dollar projects.
Yeah.
Literally crying on the floor because they can't figure out the symbols on a foreign washing machine.
Is eco for economical or ecological? What does this little swirly thing mean? You're terrified you're going to destroy all your clothes.
Or trying to sort the recycling in a place like Germany or Japan.
Oh, that's a nightmare. 10 different bins.
And you're paralyzed by the fear of being that foreigner who messes it all up. But the voice in your head is just screaming, I used to be smart. Why can't I do this simple thing that a 6-year-old here has mastered?
But isn't some of that just, I don't know, impatience? Like, can't you just read the manual?
Well, often the manual isn't in your language, or it's a terrible translation. But more than that, it's not about the machine. The shock strips you of your social capital. It forces you to become dependent. It's this aggressive assault on your ego.
So it kills the ego.
It has to.
Yeah.
It forces the humility you need to become a beginner again at age 30 or 40. You have to accept being a child to eventually grow into an adult in this new world.
That humility is the price of admission. Okay, so once you figure out the washing machine, there's a whole other layer of friction, right?
Yeah.
Social interaction, the body language betrayal.
Yes. This is when all your deep-seated instincts about how to be a good, polite person are just completely wrong.
And it's invisible. You don't know you've made a mistake until you see the look of horror on someone's face.
Exactly. Let's take someone from a more relational culture, say Latin America or South Asia, moving to Northern Europe.
Okay.
In their culture, small talk is a sign of respect. It's how you connect. So they try to chat with someone in an elevator or in a sauna.
Oh, not the sauna.
And they're met with just silence,
Yeah.
maybe even a look of panic. They suddenly feel loud, invasive. Their attempt to be polite is read as a huge boundary violation.
Because in that culture, the ultimate sign of respect is leaving someone alone.
That's it. Silence is the politeness.
So now let's flip it. An American or a European moves to a more collective culture, maybe in the Middle East or parts of Asia.
And their personal bubble, which they thought was a universal human right,
Is gone.
it's gone.
Yeah.
People stand way too close. Strangers ask you incredibly personal questions. How much do you make? Why aren't you married yet?
Which to a Westerner feels unbelievably rude.
But it's the opposite. It's their way of showing interest, of including you in the community. Privacy, in that context, can actually seem suspicious, like you're hiding something.
So the big realization here is that the word rude is totally subjective. It just means you violated the secret code of this specific place.
And constantly trying to decode that is exhausting, which leads directly to this deep, profound sense of isolation.
Let's talk about that. Section 3, the sound of silence. This is that really specific, crushing loneliness you feel, especially during big cultural moments.
The holidays.
Yeah, your first big holiday alone, Diwali, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever it is. Back home, it's chaos, it's loud, there are obligations.
There's food you have to eat, people you have to see.
Right. And in your new country, the world outside doesn't even notice. That huge defining day on your calendar is just a Tuesday.
It's just a Tuesday. And you're at home cooking this complicated meal for one, maybe with ingredients you had to substitute.
Eating it while you watch Netflix.
And you just feel invisible. You realize your entire cultural and community structure has just dissolved. That's a devastating feeling. It's the difference between being lonely and being truly isolated.
But out of that isolation comes this really interesting coping mechanism, right? The found family.
Yes, this is so critical. These friendships are different. They're not just based on shared interests. They're based on shared survival.
It's trauma bonding.
It is. You bond intensely and quickly with other expats, people from totally different backgrounds, because they're the only ones who get it. They understand the washing machine defeat. They know the pain of a holiday on a Tuesday.
They speak the language of absence.
Beautifully put. They become your lifeline. They're the ones you can tell your most embarrassing mistake stories to because they have their own.
But you don't stay in that crisis forever. The U-curve eventually goes up. And this brings us to what we're calling hybrid vigor. The moment you realize you've been changed for the better.
This is the reward. You go from feeling like a helpless child to something much more powerful than you were before.
And that breakthrough moment, the source material calls it the reverse translation.
I love this one.
So picture it. A new tourist shows up in your neighborhood, totally lost, map upside down. And you, the person who cried over the washing machine, you stop and you help them, confidently, in the local language.
And you don't just give them directions. You tell them which bus to avoid, or a little cultural tip. You anticipate their confusion.
And in that moment, you get this jolt, this feeling of, wow, I live here. I know this place. I survived.
It's transformative. The fear is gone, replaced by this grounded sense of competence.
And this is the core idea of the whole deep dive. You're not your old self anymore, but you're not fully a local either. You've become a third thing, a bridge.
And that third thing, identity is a superpower. It's adaptability. Once you've survived crashing and rebuilding your entire identity, you become fundamentally fearless. You know you can do it again, anywhere.
You've learned how to learn a system, which is way more valuable than just knowing the rules of one system.
That's it. And that initial ego death, the pain, was necessary. The ego had to die for that real, location-independent confidence to be born.
Which brings us to a way to survive all this. Laughter. You have to be able to laugh at the journey. Welcome to our Hall of Fame of mistakes.
Oh, this is essential. If you can't laugh at yourself, the weight of it all is just, it's too much.
Okay, let's hear some. What about overcorrecting on politeness?
Yes. The accidental overrespect.
Yeah.
So you're in Japan, you see people bowing, and you think, okay, I have to bow to everyone.
You bow to the cashier.
You bow to the vending machine after it gives you a soda, and you just get this look of complete confusion that tells you you've gotten it very, very wrong.
What about money mistakes? Tipping.
The classic. You leave a huge, generous tip in a country where it's just not done, or where it's even seen as an insult. You think you're being kind, but you're actually being, kind of ignorant.
And then there's the physical boundary stuff. The accidental hug.
Oh, the accidental hug is brutal. Your new boss reaches for a pen on the desk behind you, and you misread the signal completely and go in for a full-on embrace.
That silence, that horrible shared microsecond of horror.
Followed by months of awkward elevator rides. It's a rite of passage.
Every single one of those mistakes is a lesson, though. And being able to tell those stories is what bonds you with your found family.
It becomes your shared mythology.
So let's bring it all together. We started with the confident captain losing everything, and we end with this new hybrid person. What's the biggest lesson here about what culture really is?
I think the biggest takeaway is that culture isn't a fixed noun. It's not something you have, it's an active verb. It's something you do.
Ooh, I love that. Culture is a verb.
Exactly. It's the recipe you choose to cook when you're homesick. It's the language you switch to on the phone with your parents. It's the ritual you decide to keep alive, even if it's just for yourself in a small apartment.
You become the curator of your own culture. You get to decide what you keep from your past, what you let go of, and what new things you want to add to this new identity, this third thing.
Which leaves a pretty big question for everyone listening, right? Whether you've moved across the world or just to a new city, how much of who you think you are is universal, and how much is just a reflection of where you happen to be standing right now?
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. And if you are listening to this somewhere far from where you were born, whether you're about to have your first holiday alone or you just confidently navigated a foreign bureaucracy, remember this.
Hmm.
You are not lost. You are just expanding the map. Think about the power of that third thing identity. What new habits have you picked up that are now part of you forever? Keep exploring.